If you're an INFJ, you probably already know you've got a pretty unique set of skills. We're talking about that deep intuition, that crazy empathy, and that uncanny ability to just get people and situations. So today, we're going to dive into how to stop seeing these traits as a burden and start treating them like the superpowers they really are.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Does that incredible gift for feeling and seeing everything sometimes leave you feeling just completely drained and overwhelmed? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are in exactly the right place.
You see, for an INFJ, your perception is basically hardwired directly into your emotions. It's why you can spot those intricate patterns that everyone else misses, which is an amazing gift. But it's also what leaves you so vulnerable, so open to absorbing all the negativity floating around you. And pretty soon, that gift starts to feel more like a really heavy weight you have to carry around all day. And when you look closer, you can see how this all connects. That habit of soaking up other people's bad vibes, it gets cranked up to 11 by your idealism, which, let's be honest, often leads to getting disappointed by the real world. Then, your own perfectionism jumps in, making it impossible to just let things go. It's like a perfect storm for feeling totally weighed down. So what do we do about this? Well, the secret isn't to try and shut down your perception. That would be a huge waste. Instead, the key is to master the connection between what you perceive and how you react. This is it. This is the master key to unlocking your true potential and finally taking back control of your own inner world. And you know what? It all boils down to this incredibly simple two-step process. First, you've got perception. That's how you see the world. Second, you've got your reaction, how you decide to respond to it. The real magic, the real power, happens in that tiny little space between those two steps. That pause, that's where you get to make a conscious choice. And this right here says it all. Change your thinking, change everything else. What that really means is that if you can shift what's happening on the inside, you will fundamentally change your entire experience of the world on the outside. The biggest takeaway? The change has to start with you. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Well, it's about making a huge shift. You've got to go from being a passive reactor, just getting tossed around by the emotional waves of everything happening around you, to becoming a deliberate actor, someone who chooses their response. Think of it like you're building your very own internal filtering system. This slide just lays out the whole journey perfectly. Maybe you recognize the person on the left, the reactor, always feeling overwhelmed, easily disappointed, constantly triggered. The goal is to become the person on the right, the actor, self-aware, protected by healthy boundaries, and totally in control of how they react. This is the transformation we are talking about. And really, that's what it all comes down to, self-mastery. Now, this is not about burying your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It's about learning to understand them and control them before you let them control you. It's about mastering that all-important pause between perception and reaction. All right, so you've got this new tool, this internal mastery. How do you actually use it out in the real world? Let's get super practical and look at how this can totally transform the way you communicate with all the different personality types out there. Your superpower here is all about adaptation. So with thinking types like an ESTJ or an INTJ, your intuition already tells you that a big emotional appeal just isn't going to work. They want facts, they want logic, so you meet them there, and you make your point way more effectively. With a classic debater like an ENTP, you don't back down. You use your insight to jump into that intellectual debate with them, turning a potential argument into a really fun conversation. And then with the fellow idealist, like an INFP, you can just connect directly on that deep level of shared values. And that's where you really shine. Now with the feeling types, your natural empathy can really come out to play. But now it's intentional, it's controlled. You understand that an ESFJ really values harmony and might be sensitive to criticism, so you consciously choose to give feedback in a gentle, supportive way that they can actually take in. You see that an ENFJ just thrives on that warm personal connection, so you make that your #1 focus to build instant rapport. And hey, with another INFJ, you can just be fully open and honest because you know they're right there with you, ready for that deep, meaningful connection. But look, this isn't just about having better conversations. This is about consciously designing your entire life. Once you master your perception and your reactions, you can start applying your INFJ superpowers to thrive in every part of your life. Let's talk career. Don't just chase a paycheck. Use that powerful idealism of yours as a compass to find work that truly aligns with your core values.
And please remember, that deep empathy is not a professional weakness. It's your greatest asset for building incredible, lasting relationships with your colleagues and clients. And in love, you're not searching for something superficial. You're craving that profound connection. So look for a partner who isn't scared to go deep with you. When you're in control of your own emotional world, you can be open and honest without fear. And that's how you build the kind of deep, trusting relationship you've always dreamed of. Your friendships should be a source of strength, right? Not just another drain on your energy. So be intentional here. Focus your precious time on those few people who really get you, who share your values and appreciate your supportive nature. For an INFJ, quality over quantity is the absolute golden rule for friendships that can last a lifetime.
And yes, this even applies to networking. I know, networking can feel awful for the reactor INFJ. But for the actor INFJ, it's a strength. Instead of just trying to collect a bunch of business cards, you can use your intuition to genuinely understand what other people need, allowing you to build a web of authentic, real relationships.
So we've gone from understanding the challenge to mastering the solution and figuring out how to apply it everywhere. The only thing left to ask is this. Now that you know you have the choice, now that you know you can be the actor instead of the reactor, which of these incredible superpowers are you going to choose to unleash today?